Alright, tonight we're going to be talking about function values from the calculator. So a little review here. Cosecant theta is equal to 1 over sine theta. Secant theta is equal to 1 over cosine theta. And cotan is equal to 1 over tan. But tan theta is equal to sine over cosine. So cotan theta is also equal to cosine theta over sine theta. Okay, so make sure then that when you go to your calculator that your mode is in degrees, because we're going to be dealing with the calculator. And we're going to be talking about some angles. Angles can be expressed in degrees, degrees in minutes, or degrees, minutes, and seconds. 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. And the symbol for minute is this little apostrophe. And the symbol for seconds is the quotation mark. So 1 degree equals 60 minutes, and 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So, for example, this is read 48 degrees, 5 minutes, and it is the same as 48 and 5/60 degrees. 5/60 is a decimal, which is 0.08333333, repeating the 3 parts repeating. To convert 48 degrees, 5 minutes to a decimal representation, get to my calculator. I would go 48. Get your calculator and do this with me. Pause it and come back if you need to. And then to find the degree symbol, you don't visibly see it anywhere on the display, so go to second apps. And there's the degree symbol. So now we have 48 degrees to get, and then type the 5. And then go back to second apps because there's the minute symbol at number 2. Now, if I wanted to add on 0 seconds, I'll just put a 0 there. The seconds is actually alpha plus. And there's the seconds. And there's our decimal representation. So I did 48, and then I went to second apps. And I typed in the degree symbol, number 1. Then I typed in the 5, and I did second apps again. And I typed in the 2. And then you can hit enter, but if you want to do seconds on the calculator, you're going to go to alpha plus. And that gives you the seconds. So we did 0 seconds. And then once we hit enter, the decimal was 48.083333. Okay, so 48.083 repeating. And that's degrees. You know, you could also do 5 divided by 60, but if you get into seconds, it gets a little complicated. It's almost easier just to use the calculator. Then if we want to just find these angle measures, so sine of 80, we would just hit sine 80, you get 0.9848. Now cosine 65/17, I'm going to do cosine 65, second apps, degrees, 17, second apps, minutes, and there's my decimal. Okay, so this one, we're going to round these, let's go 4 decimal places. So this one is 0.4181. Number 2, the cosecant of 80 would be 1 divided by the sine of 80. So we have to do 1 divided by sine of 80. And that's 1.0154. The secant of 65 is 1 over the cosine of 65/17. So second apps, 17, second apps, 2.3916. The tangent of 314/48, tangent 314, second apps, 48. Negative 1.0070. And for cotan, I would do 1 divided by tan of 314/48, and I would get negative 0.9930. Okay, next. To find an angle, remember you're using second sine, second cos, second tan on your calculator. Okay? So find the smallest positive value of theta to the nearest degree. So second sine of 0.3455. There's my angle. 20 degrees to the nearest degree. Second cosine of 0.9999. They could be fractions too. And that's just 3 degrees to the nearest degree. And second tan 1.0355. Okay, so that's that looks like 46 degrees. So this one turned out to be theta was equal to 20 degrees. This one is theta is equal to 3 degrees. And this one, theta was equal to 46 degrees. Okay, now finding an angle to the nearest minute. The calculator will return the value of theta as a whole number of degrees followed by a decimal. To change the decimal part of the number to minutes and seconds, use DMS on the calculator. DMS stands for degrees, minutes, seconds. There was a bridge that collapsed because rounding was off due to the angle that they calculated or miscalculated. So it is important here to, be able to round and be precise. Okay, so cos theta equals 0.5723. We would hit second cosine to get the angle and hit enter. So let's do that. So second cosine of 0.5723. Enter. So I get that decimal. Okay. So it is 55.089232202. There was more too. To change the decimal degrees to degrees, minutes, and seconds, we do second apps DMS enter. So go back to my calculator. I already have that value in there still. So you just go to second apps. Don't hit clear. Make sure that value stayed there because it wants to take that answer of 55 and put it in degrees, minutes, and seconds. And you hit enter again, and now it puts it in degrees, minutes, and seconds. So in the display, we got 55 degrees. It said 5, but I'm putting 0.5 because that value could range, the minutes can range from 0 to 59.99999, and so can the seconds. They were 21.235 seconds. So let's say we want to round to the nearest minute. So you want to look at the seconds. The seconds range from 0 to 59.999, so if the seconds are greater than or equal to 30, then you round up. If the seconds are less than 30, then you just keep. Okay, so you round up the minutes. Keep the minutes. So, looking at our problem, we have a 21. So the 21, we have a 21, that is less than 30. So I'm going to keep the minutes, which is 5. So my answer to the nearest minute is 55 degrees, 5 minutes. All right, we'll try other ones. So from page 385, this is 55 and 57.
Everyone that all after-school and evening activities have been canceled. All students should be going home, and please be careful if you're...
All right, so I'm going to go back to my calculator and do second sine of 0.6534. And when I do that, I get this, but I want it in degrees, minutes, and seconds so I can round to the nearest minute. So I'm going to do second apps, choice 4. Okay, so it's 40 degrees, 47 minutes, 54.386 seconds. So I'm going to write that down. So I'm going to do 40 degrees, 47 minutes, 54.386 seconds. So 54 is greater than 30. It's greater than 29. So round up. And what we're rounding up is the 47. So our answer is 40 degrees, 48 minutes. Next one, tan. So I'm going to do second tan, 7.3478. So 82.24, second apps, choice 4, DMS. Enter. 82 degrees, 14 minutes, 59. So this one was 82. So again, we did second tan 7.3478, and then we did second apps, DMS. Okay, so we got 82 degrees, 14 minutes, 59.771 seconds. So 59 is larger than 30, so we're going to round up 14. Because this is larger, I'm going to round 14 to 15. So the answer is 82 degrees, 15 minutes. Okay, on the cosine one, I'm just going to tell you, you get 32 degrees, 30 minutes, 35.101 seconds. So this is greater than 29, so round up. So this is going to become 31. So it's 32 degrees, 31 minutes. to the nearest minute. They all rounded up. If they didn't, I would have kept him at 30. All right. Next, we've got some word problems. So this next one's an interesting one. 3 roads intersect to enclose a small triangular park. A path that is 72 feet long extends from the intersection of 2 of the roads. So I guess I just kind of have a triangle. There's my park. A path that is 72 feet long extends from the intersection of 2 of the roads to the 3rd road. The path is perpendicular to that road. So it looks like this has to go down and be perpendicular. The path is perpendicular to that road at a point 65 feet from one of the other intersections and 58 feet from the 3rd. So 58 and 65. And it says it's a path that's 72. So this path is 72. So then find to the nearest minute the measures of the angles at which the roads intersect. So I'm going to go through and just go X, W, W, X, Y, and Z. So I'll start with X. So if I'm looking at X here, I can look at, I have a right triangle and I have an opposite over an adjacent. So I have tan of X is equal to 72 over 58. Now I'm going to do, for that problem, secant tan 72 divided by 58, and then I'm going to do secant apps DMS. And I'm going to do this for all of them. So to the nearest minute then, let's see what this is. So I'll do one on the calculator. So I'm going to do secant tan, let me go back, I just lost which one. I do 72 over 58. Secant tan, oops, secant tan 72 divided by 58. And then I have secant apps choice 4, and there I go. So that's going to be 51 degrees, 8 minutes, 47 seconds. All right, so it's 51, 8, 47. And 47.852. So to the nearest minute, that's going to be 9. So 51 degrees and 9 minutes. Next one, I'm going to do tan W. Tan W now is right here. Opposites 58 over 72 over the adjacent. So again, I'm going to do secant tan, 58 over 72. And then secant apps choice 4, enter. So 38, 51, 12.148. So 38, so 38, 51, 12.148. So that one, the 51 is, or the 12 is going to keep the 51 at 51. So it's 38 degrees, 51 minutes. And then the next one, I'll go to Y. So now I'm going to go tan Y equals opposite over adjacent, which is now 72. So 65 over 72, so secant tan. Back to my calculator. So I'm going to do secant tan 65 divided by 72. and then second apps DMS. So I have 42, and that's going to round that 30, so 42, 4, 30. So this one is 42, 4, and it was 30 point something, but because this is 30, it's going to round the 4 up. So this one's 42 degrees, 5 minutes. The last one is tan Z, and that's 72 for an opposite over 65 for an adjacent. So 72 over 65 turns out to be 47 degrees and 55 minutes when we round it. I'll leave that one for you to try. All right, and then number 15 here says the terminal side of an angle in standard position intersects the unit circle at this point. So my point is 0.28 down negative 0.96 back. There's theta, and this is obviously 1 because we're going to be on the unit circle. It says that. In what quadrant does this lie? This is in quadrant 4. Find to the nearest degree the smallest possible measure of the angle. Okay, so this is actually the angle I'm looking for. Hold on. So I'm actually looking for this angle here. This is 1. This is really the theta that I'm going to use. So I'm going to call this angle in here. It's like a little reference angle, okay? So I'm going to call it in here. I'm just going to call it x, all right? Because I can't find theta. I can find x using my SOHCAHTOA, and then I can use x to help me find the measure of the angle in standard position. You have to remember I'm doing clockwise angles, okay? So I'm going to go with either sine or cosine. I think I'll go with the positive one. So on the unit circle, the cosine of an angle is equal to the x-coordinate, so that's 0.28. So now we're going to apply our calculator steps. So we're going to go second cosine 0.28, and we want this to the nearest degree. So second cosine 0.28. So it's about 74 degrees. So the measure of angle theta. All right, now I'm going to change that because I really am looking at x. Okay, so I'm going to go x, x, and that was about 74 degrees to the nearest degree. If I'm looking for theta then, if you think about it, you have this angle right here is 74 degrees. If you're looking for this angle that meets it right here, and we're calling it theta, it looks to me like it's 360 minus 74. So the measure of angle theta is equal to 360 minus 74. And so that is equal to 286. All right, that's the smallest positive measure of that angle. Okay, we're done. Have a great night.